a gamble. Tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Cast to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails, girl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint job flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trash, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trash, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. The grip's a gamble, tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Cast to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails, girl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint job flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Slow trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready
to rock and roll with another amazing night of racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as each and every one of these drivers laying down their quick times is qualifying underway and jumping to the pole. It is the Cincinnati number 56 machine of Jack Drucker. Drucker jumps to the top of the speed charts here, and he is currently sitting in that pole position here this evening, a 10th quicker than any other fast time out there on the racetrack. Rooster Rod and David Trailer are top three, with Justin Durand and Trevor McManus rounding out the top five. Would be Stephen Luttrell, Joe Yanks, Brandon Combs, and Skylar Berry currently rounding out our top 10 here of the starting grid, as we're still waiting for John Salino, Brian Cunningham, and Justin Lee to jump out onto the racetrack to lay down their quick times here this evening. And unfortunately, as this comes to a close, looks like he will not get a chance. They will not get a chance to qualify here this evening, as Don Dunn and Sons in the chat says, "Let's go!" Zach's in the chat as well says, "Hello with the popcorn. Get your popcorn ready, baby," as Radio Addict says, "Team Crosby back in the building. Let's go, number 7. Cheered on Mr. Crosby here this evening, as Harrison is going to be starting a little deeper in the field. They're back in about the 19th position, but we'll see what he can do and if he can work his way forward here and put himself into a good run here at Richmond Raceway, as each and every one of these drivers will be looking and hoping to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening, as Jack Drucker will start in that pole position, running there to his outside. That QH Designs number 54, David Trailer, will start in third, with Justin Durand in fourth. Trevor McManus in that beautiful BNR, the Bump and Run Motorsports, that beautiful Ski-Doo machine, the 59, will start in that fifth position. To his outside will be the 92 of Clinton Woodby. Stephen Luttrell, the LuttrellRacing.com, number 36, will start there in seventh. To his outside in the Expeditions 87, it is Joe Yanks. Starting back in position number 9 in the 228 machine, that is the USBC machine of Brandon Combs. Into his outside in that beautiful Ghost Energy Sonic Graphic Designs number 46, it's Skylar Berry, who will qualify there in that 10th position. Starting back in 11th in the number 11, that is the Red Bull Racing Ride of Eric Hegdal. To his outside in the 97, it's another one of those beautiful QH Designs Ghost Energy rides, that is Colton Hardy, who will start there in 12th. Starting back in position number 13 in the Purple Power Ranger here this evening is the 21 of Zach Kelly. To his outside, it's Jesse Calloway there in 14th. Starting back in the 15th position, the Ally ride, that is Brennan McNutt. To his outside in that number 63, it's the Monster Energy ride of Brody Bente. Starting in position number 17 in the 77 ride, that is Evan Schilling. To his outside in the Fallout number 8 machine, it's Ronald Kingston. Starting back in the 19th position here on the Speedway in the Firehouse Subs, number 7, it's Harrison Crosby. To his outside, starting in the 20th position, it's Morphin time, as the Yellow Power Ranger, the 17 of Bruce Barnard, there in position number 20 here on the Speedway. Brian Cunningham will start back in 21st. To his outside will be the number 3 machine, that Sherwin-Williams ride of Keith Prince, as Prince will start there in 22nd. Starting back in position number 22, it's Justin Lee, as Lee in the Red Power Ranger ride. Oh gosh, chat, they're multiplying. The Power Rangers just keep showing up here at the racetrack, and man, you don't want to see them get close together. If they morph out there on the racetrack, it could not only be dangerous for the other drivers, but it could be really dangerous for the crowd as well. You just never quite know, what's going to happen and what's going to transpire if they start morphing out there on the Speedway. Now it looks like Brendan McNutt will go to the rear of the field. Here is Jesse Wise. We'll have to start down pit side in his shitty coolers, number 69 ride, but nonetheless, we are going to end all of the anticipation with our feature presentation, as we are quickly green flag racing here from Richmond Raceway. Raceway. As Jack Drucker out in front. Great launch, great run right there down through 1 and 2. And so far, it looks like everyone's able to make it through here. Corner exit's going to be a huge make or break for a lot of these drivers here this evening, as we do see Jesse Wise able to roll out onto the racetrack here, and John Salino in his Sonic Graphic Designs number 24 ride still parked down pit side, has not rolled out onto the racetrack, and there it is. Our first caution flag of the day is around goes the 228 of Brandon Combs. So Combs is around our first yellow flag here on lap number 2. Let's take a look back and see what happens as the 28. Oh, Stephen Luttrell right there. Oh, man, this is exactly what we're talking about. Corner exit is going to be a key to success here this evening, being able to manage that throttle. And here you go. You're going to watch Luttrell down and out of corner number 4 right there. Get loose. Try to save it. Truck still starts to go around there, just overcorrection, obviously for the 228 ride. Couldn't get checked up in time, make some contact there with that half-spinning 36 machine, and unfortunately, he'll help him go all the way around, as Luttrell's going to go for a couple loop-de-loops. The 228 will go around as well, and it looks like he's going to get cleaned out by Brian Cunningham. Big hit there by Cunningham. Oh, man, that was a huge, huge hit right there for the 32 ride, as he's just trying to squeeze his way through there, and unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of room to go, and unfortunately, it's a big, big hit there into that 228 machine. A huge contact. A couple tore-up race cars here early on this afternoon. They'll be looking to hit pit road, try to get these things fixed up and back out there, as there's Combs back down pit side. Cunningham's down there. He's trying to get this thing repaired and rolling back out onto the racetrack, and now we'll get them all stacked back up on top of one another and ready to roll, ready to rumble again here this evening, as Zazvig, I'm probably getting that completely wrong, coming in says, Team Luttrell in the house, he says. Team Luttrell in the house. We love that, as Don says, hashtag Team Crosby, number 7. We're going top 10 tonight, he says. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see it. I would love to see it, as this is Bozeman, or Mr. Bozeman in the chat here, says, let's go number 7. Number 7 out there, man. Harrison Crosby's got a lot of fans in the stands cheering him on here this evening early on, obviously avoiding some of that contact, some of that carnage out there on the racetrack. He's able to pick up 3 quick positions here, and now we'll hope to just continue to keep on keeping that truck pointed in the right direction here at Richmond Raceway. And it's going to be, as we said, the corner exit here at Richmond has always been a very, very difficult thing here, especially here on iRacing. Throttle control is a key to success. If you can roll out of the corner on the throttle just nice and easy and not putting your foot to the floorboard and not getting that tire spin, you can keep yourself pointing the right direction. You end up getting actually a lot more speed built up down these straightaways. But we'll see all night long, a lot of our yellow flags will be from drivers getting onto the throttle, trying to get a big run down the straightaways, and unfortunately, as you just get onto the loud pedal a little too quick, a little too soon on corner exit, it can hook you up and turn you around out there on the racetrack, and it can definitely, take you out of any kind of a running here this evening. Obviously, we already saw a few drivers run into issues, but here we go again, back to green flag racing. As the 56 of Jack Drucker down through that Geico restart zone. Great launch, great jump right there, and now he'll look to try to hold all these drivers back there at bay. Is the 56 out in front. Look out, some big movement down and out of corner number 2 there for Joe Yakes. Luckily enough, Yakes able to hang on to it, but everybody able to get through corner 2. Looks like so far everyone down and through corner number 4 as well. They'll keep their cars pointed the right direction, and we stay clean and green here for at least a full complete lap here at Richmond Raceway. As Drucker, though, out in front, a lot of these drivers, what you gotta do is, what you gotta plan for is potentially either a short run race truck or a long run racetrack truck. And unfortunately, a lot of times we see, kind of the polar opposites, unfortunately, make or breaking their day here, as we could see a race where there's a non-stop amount of short run speeds and a lot of short run racing with caution flags out there on the racetrack, or we could really see things get opened up, go single file, see these guys really click off a lot of laps, and see those trucks that are set up for the long run really get paid off for it and start to pull away and make up a lot of ground out there on the racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see who's kind of got that long run speed versus short run speed and who can work themselves up and into victory lane. But as of right now, obviously some great short run speed here for that 56 of Jack Drucker. Is last time around he just laid down his quickest and the quickest lap of this race, a 22-second lap time flat out there on the racetrack. 22.00 for Jack Drucker. So far the quickest lap here in this main feature event, but he is getting hassled. That 0-1 on Rooster Rod and sticking right there with him. Then it's Morphin, the Power Ranger ride, the green machine out there on the speedway. Rada not letting him run away with it. Now going to take a peek down to the inside. He wants this top spot, and he's open to take it away as he'll wash up the racetrack. That'll bring the 56 right there with him. Back down across the line, though. Drucker does lead that lap, but maybe that inside edge right here through 1 and 2. Maybe this will prove to be a good lane selection and a good choice right there for the 0-1 ride. Unfortunately, Drucker just really solid there through the middle of the corner, able to get a good run, turns down the racetrack, able to clear that 0-1 and stay out in front. So a really good, valiant effort there for Rooster Rod, and unfortunately it was kind of thwarted there by that number 56 of Jack Drucker as he'll hang on to the top spot. You do see David Trailer and Trevor McManus right there, ready to pounce. They're ready to rumble here as well as they wait patiently back here just behind that 0-1 of Rodin as he continues to go after our race leader. Justin Duran's right there as well, ready to pounce here in that beautiful 30 machine as Clinton Woodby hangs on to that 6th position. Joey Yakes, Eric Hegdal, Skylar Berry, and Colton Hardy rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Zach Kelly's back there in 11th with Jesse Calloway there in 12th. Brody Bente is in 13th. Brendan McNutt, who had to start at the rear of the field here. McNutt has worked his way all the way up into the 14th position, so he is working his way to the front of the field here in this one. Evan Schilling back there in that 15th spot with Ronald Kingston, Jesse Wise, Brandon Combs, that number 3 machine of Keith Prince, and Stephen Littrell rounding out our top 20. Bruce Bernard's back in 21st with Harrison Crosby there in 22nd. Justin Lee in that beautiful red Power Ranger number 38 back there in that 23rd position, man. And man, we love seeing these Power Ranger rides. And for Justin Lee, great to see him on the team. And oh, now we do see Harrison Crosby up into the outside fence there ever so slightly on corner exit. Unfortunately, that's going to kill a lot of speed right there for that Firehouse Subs number 7 ride. He's going to lose another spot there as we do see Justin Lee able to get around him. And unfortunately for Brian Cunningham, maybe even looks like he's got most of that damage repaired on that 32 machine. Unfortunately, does find himself back here in the 24th position. Going to need to find a lot of ground rather quickly to try to get himself back into the hunt here at the front. As out in front, it's still that Jack Drucker, man. Our top 5 has not changed. Top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're all still right where they were just moments ago, about 3-4 laps ago when we started to work our way through the field. But everybody kind of seems like they're a little content right now. They're running single file. We don't see a whole lot of pushing and shoving. Drivers trying to move somebody out of their way, trying to use that speed, use that momentum to work themselves a little closer to the front of the field. And for Drucker right now, he's loving it. But a lot of these drivers back here, as this hunt goes on, the heat's going to continue to rise. Drivers are going to continue to keep on getting, crazier and crazier out there on the speedway. And sooner rather than later, the intensity will start to, boil over. And we could definitely see the tempers flare and drivers losing their patience out there on the racetrack, knowing that it's time to go, that they want to move forward here. But only 20 laps complete, be 21. This time by the start finish line. Still a lot of racing left to go. Still a lot of racing, a lot of action for these drivers to try to find their way up and into victory lane here this evening. But out in front here, after 22 laps of racing action, it's been all Jack Drucker. Drucker just continues to hold on to that top spot. Is now, here we go. We do see McManus back there. He's looking to take that third spot away from David Trailer. Trailer will continue to battle on the outside lane. They're both right there on the back bumper of the Green Power Ranger ride of Rooster Rodden. Is Rodden right there in the mix, right in the thick of it, out there on the speedway. Would be starting to try and reel into the back bumper here of that 30 ride, but now look out sideways on the racetrack. There goes Rooster Rodden. Oh no! Not enough power there for the Power Ranger as the green one just gets taken out. Let's take a look back at it, see what happens as Rooster Rodden trying to keep himself up here in position number 2, and I believe you're going to see the 59 ride right here get a little bit tight, pushes up the racetrack there on the bottom side of the speedway, up and into that left rear quarter panel of the Power Ranger machine. And unfortunately for, man, what a ride, what a good start to this race for Rooster Rodden. And unfortunately, this is going to give him a lot of damage. A tore up race truck out there on the racetrack. And for the Lost Society racing team, obviously, they just had one of their drivers all of a sudden go from battling up in the front of the field to all of a sudden being back there deep in the pack. There's that contact as the 59 washes up, gets into him. From that point on, it's on like Donkey Kong. And unfortunately here, Joey Yanks gets a really big piece here. He's the one driver that kind of just can't quite fit through here, and unfortunately ends up getting a big piece of the 0-1 as Rodden washing down the racetrack right into the lap here of the 87. Big hit there for Yanks, and I believe we're going to see another driver get in here as well. I'm not too sure who that might be. Somebody else catches him there on the back bumper here. I'm not too sure who that was. Maybe it was the 4 Callaway potentially. See if we can another look at another angle at this one to see exactly who may have gotten a piece of him here. Somebody else came in and, oh, right there. Okay, there's a couple cars that ended up getting a good lick into him here. Let's take a look at it. So Eric Hegdahl in that Red Bull number 11 ride. Looks like he catches a piece of him right here as well. Right into that back end of the 0-1. And then all of a sudden, here comes Skylar Barry. Barry gets a pretty good piece of him. And I believe the 4 ride of Jesse Callaway also gets some damage in on that Green Power Ranger machine. And unfortunately, that is our second caution flag of the day as Mr. Fantastic in the chat says, Green Ranger down, Green Ranger down. But not down and out here. He's going to morph into a brand new race car, uses that quick repair, gets back rolling, and jumps right back out onto the speedway and ready to rumble here again this evening as the 0-1 Rooster Rodden will now have to try to work his way back up through the field, see if he can race his way back up into that second position. But out in front, who's led all 26 laps of this race, it is that Cincinnati number 56 machine of Jack Drucker. Drucker continues to lead the way, continues to keep these guys back there at bay, and just putting on a good run, a good show here for us early on this afternoon. Obviously a couple early caution flags, the rubbing and scrubbing, it's far from done here this evening. We could definitely see a lot more beating and banging, battling out there on the speedway. They're trying to see who can put themselves up into victory lane by the end of the night. Alrighty, as here we go. Drucker down through the restart zone. We'll see that green flag fly once again here this evening. Great launch, great restart right there for him. And for that 54, David Trailer, he got a pretty good run there as well. Able to quickly slide down, clears that number 59 of McManus. McManus will stay there in third with Justin Duran now into fourth. Clinton Woodby rolls there in that fifth position. As you do see Colton Hardy down low as, oh, look out. You gotta wonder, potentially, oh no, big one happening now. All right, so they are all getting tied up here in this one. Big hits out there on the racetrack. I believe it starts with Eric Hegdahl. Not sure if maybe just the damage here that was still on this race truck. I'm not sure if that kind of played into this, but he shoots it into the middle here, trying to get to the outside of Clinton Woodby, the 97 of Colton Hardy down low. Doesn't look like Hardy really pushes up. Maybe it doesn't really look like he pushes up the racetrack. Maybe the 11 kind of coming down. And as he kind of does, I don't know if it was just because of the damage that he had gotten before or what may have been the cause here. But nonetheless, he kind of goes high, Cuts down the racetrack, looking for a good run and good exit speed here. Unfortunately, as he does come down, he comes down into the 97 of Colton Hardy. You're going to see Barry gets a piece of him here, kind of jacks him up, gets him a little bit more sideways, and then from that point on, he's just lost all his speed momentum, and looks like Brody Bente is going to get a piece of him here, gets into the back end of that number 11 ride, and from this point on, it's on like Donkey Kong. As Bente gets a piece of him, washes up the track, the 11 then pulls a hard right-hand turn up towards the outside fence. Nowhere to go for Brendan McNutt. The 63 gets hooked, gets turned around. He comes down into the Pink Power Ranger ride. Oh, big hit there for Big Pink out there on the speedway. That was a huge hit for Zach Kelly. As Kelly now all of a sudden, big damage there for him as well. That is a tough one for Cali, man. Just down low, minding his own P's and Q's for the 48 ride, trying to battle his way from deep in the field and now getting some major damage there himself. Let's take a look here at Brendan McNutt. As McNutt just trying to squeeze his way through it, just trying to keep himself rolling, trying to gain some extra spots out there, and the 11 slow contact there, up into the outside fence once, and then again, huge damage there for that HendrickCars.com number 48 ride. And unfortunately, a bunch of total up race cars again here as drivers will work their way down pit side. They'll get some work done. They'll try to get these cars repaired and back out there onto the racetrack here for the next big restart here on the evening. As I could go for a meatball sub, says Don. Oh, baby, a little meatball sub. I'm down for that. Meatball sub. I mean, I am definitely a huge turkey and bacon kind of guy, or pizza subs. I like pizza subs. I'm a huge pizza guy, so pizza sub is just a sub in pizza form, which I can definitely get onto that one, especially get it toasted, a little warmed up. I mean, now you're looking at a just basically a really fresh Hot Pocket, and I'm all for that. I'm down for a really nice fresh Hot Pocket, man. Now I want some Firehouse sub chat. Oh man, the subliminal messaging, the advertisement on this race car, it's getting me hungry up here in the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. I may need to head out here and get some food once this broadcast is done. Unfortunately, oh man, I'm so far out of town. It's so far. I gotta drive like 15 minutes just to go get food. Gosh darn it. Radio Addict says, okay, now I'm hungry. Thanks, guys. Yeah, exactly. Me too, Radio. Me too. I'm hungry as well. Dang it. Gosh darn. I'll probably just end up eating some Mr. Noodles or Kraft Dinner or something for dinner, man. Gosh darn. I guess you guys probably don't have Kraft Dinner down in the U.S. It's macaroni and cheese. Just box macaroni and cheese. As Jack Drucker, another good restart, another good launch. You'll keep these guys back there at bay as David Traylor rolls there in position number 2. McManus stays right there in third with Justin Duran and Clinton Wood be rounding out our top 5. But here comes Colton Hardy in the QH Designs number 97 truck, trying to roll that outside groove, trying to make this pass for position number 5 here on Clinton Woodby. Woodby just going to continue to battle with him door to door as here comes Jesse Callaway, here comes Skylar Berry. That 8 ride right there, Ronald Kingston, he's worked his way inside the top 10. Keith Prince back there in the 10th position as well. Going to battle to his outside. Good run here going for Keith Prince. Evan Schilling, Jesse Wise, Joe Yates, Bruce Bernard, and Stephen Luttrell rounding out our top 15. Back in that 16th position is Brandon Combs, and there in 17th is Harrison Crosby in that beautiful Johnny Johnson Motorsports Firehouse Subs number 7 ride. Rooster Roddins there in 18th, trying to work his way back up towards the front. Brody Bente, Zach Kelly, who both just got tied up in the last yellow, roll back in 18th and 19th, actually 19th and 20th here on the speedway. Justin Lee, the red Power Ranger ride, scored back in 21st with Eric Hegdul. They're in 22nd. Brandon McNutt and Brian Cunningham bringing up the rear of the field here with Sean Salino, I believe, is the admin up and in the booth, making the calls and handing out penalties and throwing caution flags here this evening. And obviously here early on, he's been a busy man. Lots of action, lots of contact and rubbing and scrubbing out there on the racetrack. But each and every one of these drivers continue to just keep on rolling here at the front of the field, continue to keep on battling as Drucker, David Trailer, Trevor McManus, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway. Duran, Colton Hardy now up and into 5th here as he's worked his way around Clinton Woodby. Woodby has actually fallen back a few spots here and now has Keith Prince rolling to his outside for the 8th position. Looks like Prince is going to take it away from him down into corner number 1. Gets a good run. Able to start to pull in front of the 92. Woodby's going to try to battle back, though, but it does look like that 3 machine of Prince getting the upper hand here on the 92 ride. And for Keith Prince, he makes this pass. He's going to be up 14 positions from where he started. For Keith Prince, started back, I believe, in position number 22, and now here he is up and into that 8th position, putting on a great run, great show out there on the speedways. Yo, what in the world? Don and Sons Garage coming in, showing the big love here in this one, the Big D of the day from Don coming in with a $5 super chat. Says hashtag Team Crosby in the building, he says. Hashtag Team Crosby in the building. Watching these guys rock and roll, watching these guys battle out there on the speedway. We appreciate that, Don and Sons coming in with the big love here in this one, and now being the Big D of the day is Jack Drucker. He's been the big winner so far here in the first 42 laps of this feature event, as he's been out in front, he's been leading them all, he's been keeping them back there at bay. And for this beautiful HendrickCars.com Cincinnati number 56 machine continues to roll here at the front of the field. David Trailer there in second, right in tow with Trevor McManus back in third. Duran and now Jesse Calloway up inside our top 5. So for Calloway, making some good moves here as well. The Pabst Blue Ribbon number 4 machine has worked his way up into that 5th position. Colton Hardy is back in that 6th spot on the speedway with Skylar Berry, Keith Prince, Clinton Woodby, Ronald Kingston running out our top 10 here. Definitely a bit of an odd top 10 as of right now. There's definitely some front runners a little deeper in the field here that are trying to run their way back towards the front. One of those being Brandon Combs in the 228 machine back in the 12th position, looking to pick up 11th from Evan Schilling. You look at Stephen Luttrell back there, Rooster Rodden, who was up in position number 2 here for a lot of the start of this race and qualified in second. He finds himself all the way back here in that 16th position. Eric Hagdell, he's fallen back quite a bit now into 18th. Zach Kelly is there in 19th, and unfortunately you do see Brandon McNutt still deep in the field here. McNutt still has some really solid right front damage here on that 48 ride. So obviously coming down pit road through a couple of those other caution flags, trying to get this Ally machine fixed up into one good piece, and unfortunately here just has not had enough time down pit side to get it fully repaired. And you can see him struggling out there on the racetrack as he rolls back there in that 23rd position. But man, Harrison Crosby looking good as the caution flag will come out. So the yellow flag will fly, and there's the culprit. The fallout number 8 machine of Ronald Kingston. Kingston's going to run into some issues here. Let's take a look at it, see what happens. It looks like maybe him and Combs going to get tied together here. They end up going 3 wide down at a corner number 4 here. And unfortunately, as they are 3 wide, looks like the 228 kind of coming up the racetrack. I think for the 8 ride of Kingston, he's trying to leave that open lane for the 77. Unfortunately, Combs gets a piece of him right into that left rear quarter panel. Knocks him around, and he goes for a slide here down on the front straightaway. Does a little bit of landscaping, but for the most part avoids any major damage, any major issues there for Ronald Kingston, and he'll be able to keep on battling here this evening. Unfortunately, going to lose a lot of track position, and will now have to try to battle his way back up towards the front of the field. Now, we did see Combs come down pit road, so didn't Rooster Rodden. Zach Kelly's back down pit side, so isn't Bruce Bernard and Justin Lee. So 3 of those, a couple of these beautiful Power Ranger rides hit pit lane here. One of those being Zach Kelly. Rooster Rodden's down there as well. Bruce Bernard in the yellow Power Ranger ride, he's down pit side. Justin Lee in the red Power Ranger ride, also down pit side. So 4 of the Power Rangers all hit pit lane here in this one. It's Harrison Crosby up and into 16th again, obviously gaining quite a few more positions there throughout this caution flag. Drivers going around, going to the back of the pack, and other drivers coming down pit side. He's worked himself a few spots forward again out there on the racetrack. But for Jack Drucker, down across the line, he'll complete lap number 50. So 50 laps have been completed, and we're going to get a quick word in from a couple of our amazing sponsors here with the Full Throttle Outlaws. Alrighty, shout out there to a few of our amazing sponsors there. AdminBoxx, Full Throttle Outlaws, Johnny Johnson Motorsports. Man, we can't thank our amazing sponsors here enough. Here with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League, as these drivers get ready to rumble, they get ready to do their thing again here this evening. As out in front, Jack Drucker going to look for another big restart. And this is what we kind of talked about, you know, earlier on in the evening. Having your truck set up for the short run can be hugely beneficiary here at a racetrack like Richmond Raceway. As you could see a lot of yellow flags, you could see these cautions continue to breed cautions, and it could put you into a really good position to move quite a ways forward here with these, 5-10 lap runs and a caution flag. Couple lap run, caution flag. You get some really good chances, a couple really good opportunities to gain a ton of positions and try to work your way forward. Now, for the drivers that are set up more for the longer run, it's going to hurt you, as you're not going to be as fast here on the short runs. It's going to set you back a little bit in multiple short runs can send you deeper and deeper into this field. So for right now, Drucker, though, just hooked up here this afternoon. He's been picture perfect out in front as he looks to continue to be that reflection of perfection here this evening, as David Traylor there in second. Trevor McManus back there in that third spot on the speedway, but he's battling here with Justin Durand. Durand wants that third spot from McManus. McManus, unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be able to power down quickly enough. Down and out at core number 4, and moving up and into that third position is that beautiful 30 ride of Justin Durand. So Durand up and into third as McManus falls back into position number 4. Colton Hardy there in that 5th position, man. This QH Designs ride always looking fresh out there on the racetrack, man. Always looking good. And here in this one, looking fresh again. He's got this Cherry Ghost Energy ride rolling nicely here up inside the top 5 now on the racetrack after moving up 7 positions from where he started. He's looking really strong here early on in this race. Jesse Callaway right there behind him. He's followed him right on through. Callaway's up here in that 6th position. He's looking really good here this evening as well. Quinton Woodby there in 7th. Skylar Berry, Keith Prince, and Joe Yanks rounding out our top 10. Good to see Yanks able to work his way back up here inside the top 10. You saw him get kind of tied up and tore up out there during one of those caution flags, and he was down pit road back on lap number 25. So he has been able to get some service done, get some repairs in the 87. Back just trying to race his way to the front of the field. Stephen Luttrell's right there with him, scored back in 11th as Evan Schilling, Zach Kelly, Eric Hegel, and Brody Bente running out our top 10 here on the speedway as the Monster Energy Racing Cane's number 63 machine rolls there in that 15th position. Looking back here, there's still a lot of really fast cats that are trying to itch their way and trying to work their way to the front of the field here. As you do see, obviously, Brandon Combs is back there. We do see Ronald Kingston, who's up inside our top 10. He scored back in 17th. You look at drivers like Rooster Rodden or even Brendan McNutt, who are still very, very deep out there on the speedway and unfortunately have not gained really any track position since their issues, since their problems, and unfortunately still stuck back here very, very deep in the field. And some of them still have some very serious damage here, including this 48 ride of Brendan McNutt, as McNutt unfortunately still dealing with that damage. Looks like he's definitely off the pace as he scored back in 24th and continue to fall farther and farther away from our race leaders. His last time by the start finish line here, he's going to run a 23:55, while our race leaders were running 22:5, 22:7. So he's a second slower, 0.8 of a second slower than majority of these drivers that are on the lead lap and up towards the front of the field. And for Jack Drucker, he wants to see his teammate do good. Unfortunately, sees that 48 ride back there pretty deep in the field and could be potentially the first driver that the 56 machine will pass out there on the racetrack and put another cat a lap down out there on the racetrack. We'll keep a close eye on it, but for right now, Jack Drucker, Trevor McManus, who's now up into second here, having some pretty good solid runs out there on the speedway, would be rolls there in that third position, with David Traylor falling all the way back now into position number 4. Now here comes Colton Hardy as Durand also falls back a couple spots, now into that 6th position with Skylar Berry and Jesse Calloway door to door. That's for position number 7 here on the racetrack, and now they're 3 wide down and out of corner number 4 as you do see Stephen Luttrell, that beautiful pink Power Ranger. Number 21 is Zach Kelly, back up inside the top 10, but looking for more as he's trying to find his way around Jesse Calloway. Keith Prince right there ready to bounce. So isn't Joe Yates. Evan Schilling, that beautiful 11 ride of Eric Hegdal right there ready to work himself into the battle here at the front of the field. But out in front, it's all Jack Drucker as Drucker continues to lead the charge, continues to lead the way as we inch closer and closer to the end of our first stage of the day. So stage points will be handed out here, and obviously for our stage winner, some bonus points towards the playoffs as well. So for Drucker, this is big for him. This is definitely going to give him some very good, obviously, bonus points for the regular season championship, but also some bonus points there for those playoffs. So he's going to be looking to try to keep these guys back there at bay for at least the next 3 laps so we can pick up this green and white checker flag and win our first stage of the evening as he rolls out in front as John McManus says go. Number 59 cheering on Trevor out there on the speedways. Trevor McManus rolls there in third. He's at least in line for some good stage points here this evening as you do see Colton Hardy up and into 4th, but battling hard here with David Traylor. This has really stacked them up here. Some really, really tight, close racing, and for Colton Hardy right now, he's into that 4th position. David Traylor trying to hang on to at least now the 5th spot as here comes Stephen Luttrell. Here comes that 21 of Zach Kelly. Skylar Berry, a lot of these drivers right there ready to pounce, ready to shuffle this 54 ride back there deeper in the field. But now, just completing our favorite lap of the day, lap number 69. This is the final lap here in stage number 1. So our first stage of the day is about to come to a close, and for each and every one of these drivers, now they get some opportunities here during this caution flag. Make some changes, try to get some work done to your race cars, try to set yourself up here for a better, second half of this feature event. As nice and easy down across the line here for Jack Drucker. Drucker picks up the stage win, so Drucker gets it done here in stage number 1. Woodby jumps up into position number 2 with Trevor McManus, Colton Hardy, Stephen Luttrell, our top 5, all earning stage points here in this one. Zach Kelly, David Traylor, Justin Duran, Keith Prince, and Evan Schilling running out our top 10 will all earn some stage points here themselves this afternoon, and now this kind of sets the stage for our final run of the evening, our final green flag effort here for a lot of these drivers, as 71 laps now completed here. When we go back to green flag racing, it'll be closer to 75 laps into this race. So for a lot of these drivers, they know that they're going to have to go. They're going to have to battle here for, at least, man, I guess that is a lot. That is 100 and some odd laps here that they're going to have to roll. There's still a lot of time, a lot of laps here. Almost 133 laps left to go here in this feature event. So still a lot of beating and banging, still a lot of tight battling out there on the racetrack. But with that first stage coming to a close, it's going to bring a lot of drivers down pit side. And it's going to split the field here as Zach Kelly stays out. Kelly stays out. Brewster Rodden stays out, so doesn't Justin Lee, Brian Cunningham, Bruce Bernard Jr., Brian Cunningham, and Harrison Crosby all elect to stay out. Now for Crosby, he is not pitted yet, so I'm not sure what the game plan is for the Firehouse Subs at number 7 ride, because, man, that's going to put him, kind of back here behind the 8 ball, as he may only be a lap or two away from probably having to make a green flag pit stop. But here we go. Okay, so he is going to come down pit road just a lap later. So Harrison Crosby, Brian Cunningham, they both hit pit lane. They're looking to get some, maybe a little extra fuel in there. They know they're going to the back of the pack for the restart, so trying to maybe lead a lap right there. Unfortunately, they did not get to. Zach Kelly stays out. So does Brewster Rodden and Justin Lee. And now, as you look at the front of the field here, it's going to be all Power Rangers, man. All Power Rangers here at the front of the pack, and this is going to be exciting to see how this kind of gets played out. As Zach Kelly, Brewster Rodden, Justin Lee, and Bruce Bernard roll 1, 2, 3, and 4 out there on the speedway. And if they get morphed in here this evening, it may be game over for the rest of this field, as they're going to look to try to stay at the front of the pack here. They're going to look to try to keep a lot of these drivers back there at bay, as they were down pit side back on lap number 49. They were able to get some repairs to their race trucks, but also get some fuel, some tires, and now they're hoping that that may be enough that where they can kind of get that upper edge, that extra little bit here throughout these green flag stops. As McManus in the chat says, go number 59, cheered on Trevor McManus here this evening, as Mr. Fantastic says 56 is smoking the field right now. He's definitely smoking something. He's definitely smoking the field here in this one. Is Rodney Stewart, what's up, Rodney? Hot Rod in the chat says, my boy Peacemaker, my brother. Rodney Stewart up here in the chat, man. Uncle Rod in the chat, showing the love here this evening. How are you, Rodney? How you doing this fine Friday night of racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. As here we go, back to green flag, and for the first time here this evening is not Drucker out in front. Drucker finds himself back in position number 3, quickly making a couple moves here, trying to race his way up towards the front. So you see Bruce Bernard in the 38 right at Justin Lee. Unfortunately, they're kind of getting shuffled back in a quick hurry, as Drucker looking to go after Brewster Rodden and Zach Kelly here for those pit stops, trying to put his name right back out in front here. And unfortunately for these two, they really don't have anything left in the tank, nothing there for them. And for that beautiful 56 ride of Jack Drucker, just jumps right back up, right back into the race lead here in this one. So he continues to lead the charge, but man, there's a lot of things happening back there behind him, and unfortunately, one of those things will be a caution flag. So the yellow flag is displayed again. Let's take a look back and see what happens here. Does it look like potentially Brandon McNutt gets tied up in this one, and potentially Brody Bente as well. So let's take a look. The 48 ride down low. They kind of stack up in front of them. They got a little log jam there. Eric Hagdal washes down the racetrack. Some contact there for Kingston, as you do see the beautiful Monster Energy ride get checked up right there. Keep himself kind of out of it there. That's a good piece of driving, Brody Bente. That could have definitely had him pretty tore up out there on the racetrack, but it kind of starts just in front of McNutt. Contact there. Oh, as Hagdal gets into the 59 of McManus. Oh, that's a heartbreaker there for McManus. Obviously, a lot of damage, a lot of issues after that, but for Eric Hagdal right here, gets underneath of this 59 ride. Just a big run, as you do see McManus looks like he's going to get loose down and out of corner number 4. Truck kicks out on him right here. He catches it, though, able to keep going the right direction, but does lose a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, and that's where you see Hegdal just trying to jump in there, take advantage of it, and work his way maybe a spot or two farther forward. Unfortunately, gets some damage, gets tore up, and all of a sudden finds himself back there deep in the field. As Ronnie Stewart says, building trucks is what I'm doing. Let's go, baby. Building some trucks, he says. Let's go, Ronnie. That's awesome, brother. That is awesome. Building some trucks. And definitely enjoying some very, very good racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. But there's the initial contact. And you see Callaway into the back end of the 11. A lot of these drivers, unfortunately, getting some pretty good damage again. And another quick caution flag out there on the speedway will set us up for another restart here this evening. As out in front, Jack Drucker. Man, it did not take him long to jump back to the front of the field, and here he is, just rolling out in front, looking and hoping to try to keep these guys back there at bay, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a couple more moments. As, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button on the broadcast for us right now. Hit that like button here on the stream, and then hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today, as we'll get them all ready to roll, ready to rumble here in this one. We'll stack them back up 2 by 2 by 2 throughout the field. And for Drucker, he is the race leader. He is the control car here on this restart, and he's going to be hoping that he can just get everything he can, keep these guys still back there at bay, continue on his battle to be that reflection of perfection here this evening, trying to lead as many laps as possible, wanting to pick up the checkered flag here at Richmond Raceway. But nice and easy, down and out at corner number 4. They'll hit that restart zone, and another good launch, another good drive there out of that 17 machine of Jack Drucker. Now Drucker going to try to keep on battling, keep on keeping himself here at the front of the field, but you do see Rooster Ron right back up and in the second. Justin Duran's up there. David Trailer, there's a lot of fast cats quickly rolling towards his back bumper out there on the speedway, and before we know it, they could be right in the mix, right in the thick of it here for the race lead, as we do see the caution flag come back out. Yellow flag is displayed again, and it's a parking lot down and out of corner number 4. Parking lot here at Richmond Raceway, man. Oh man, there's going to be a bunch of drivers tied up here. Let's take a look as, oh man, there's huge contact down the front straightaway. Sorry, that was corner number 1, but there was huge contact here. We already see one driver turned around. I believe that may have been, I don't think it was Zach Kelly. Who was that? Turned around right here. Ronald Kingston? No, he's back a little farther. Huh. All right, there it is. Okay, looks like maybe David Trailer, the first driver to kind of get tied up in it. Let's take a look here. So Trailer trying to hold off this 30 ride of Justin Duran, rolling the outside lane. He gets back onto the throttle. Just looks like he loses the rear end. Tries to save it. Starting to go around. Gets clipped right there by the 92, and then gets the 36 up and into the outside fence. Around he goes, as you do see big hit there for the 87 of Joe Yakes. Big hits for the 21 ride, and for obviously one of those Power Rangers machines. Is not a fun spot to be out there on the racetrack. Now, Colton Hardy did get some really good damage here as well. Let's take a look here and see what happens as, yeah, he's just trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, Prince gets in there, gets a piece of him. That's normally what happens here at Richmond, is they start to pile up out there on the racetrack. You got kind of nowhere to go and end up just driving right into it and right into a couple really tough hits out there on the speedways. We do see Steven Luttrell here. We can play this back. Take another look here at this number 36 ride here this evening. So obviously for Trailer, loose on the outside, trying to take a big run to the outside of the 30 machine. Gets loose, tries to save it, unfortunately washes down the racetrack into that right rear quarter panel, turns him around, puts him up into the outside fence, and then all these other drivers just kind of pile on into it, man. Some big hits, a lot of tore up race cars here in this one, as we will get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Some more green flag racing on the horizon, and for each and every one of these drivers, man, it's going to be crazy to see how this is going to play out here this evening, as Don says, bro, he says, bro, Don, was that for another caution flag, the bro right there, or was that for maybe your favorite driver, one of these drivers that you wanted to see maybe have a good run, good drive right there, get collected, get tore up out there on the racetrack, as that is definitely a possibility here, but obviously quite a few yellow flags early on in this race. We're not even quite the halfway here yet on the evening, and that was our 7th caution flag of the evening, and that's kind of what we come to expect when we come here to Richmond Raceway, man. We've seen some really staggering numbers here, you know, with caution flags here at this racetrack, and tonight could be another one of those nights where just that one wrong bump, that one wrong push at the wrong time could unfortunately send someone around, or if you get back onto the throttle, could send yourself around out there on the speedway. So we'll keep a close eye on the rest of the field as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Here we go! Green flag back out into the air for Jack Drucker. Drucker picking right up where he left off. That's out in front and trying to pull away. As you do see, it looks like the 97 truck right there, Colton Hardy, trying to get back out onto the racetrack. But now look out. Oh, no. Oh, Clinton Woodby's around. Caution flag is back out. Dang. Cautions breeding cautions, and here we go. This may be just that corner exit and trying to get everything you can here. Actually, looks like Woodby already a little sideways down into corner number 1. Looks like he's already missing that back bumper, and unfortunately here for Woodby, just no rear wing. Unfortunately, just kind of loses the rear end and eventually goes around there down the back straightaway, and for a 92 ride of Clinton Woodby going to have to try to get some major work done and try to get back out there in time to keep on battling, keep on striving for a good run and a good race here this evening, and trying to put himself into the winning position. We'll keep a close eye on it, as we do see some drivers electing to come down pit side, including Brendan McNutt. Obviously, the number 92 of Clinton Woodby's down there. Harrison Crosby's down pit side. We did see David Traylor and Brian Cunningham also hit pit lane as well. So there is definitely a lot of drivers out there on the racetrack just making some moves, making some different changes, and trying to put themselves into a winning position out there on the racetrack. Now, we did see Stephen Luttrell. He's back out there. I believe he had just gotten the lucky dog. He is now 2 laps down out there on the speedway. So 2 laps down now for that 36 ride for Colton Hardy. Finds himself a few laps down out there on the racetrack. Scored back in 24th here on the speedway. And for Colton Hardy, for Stephen Luttrell, a lot of these drivers, including McNutt, Trailer, Woodby, a lot of these guys, man, started up towards the front of the field, put together some great runs, some great racing here, and obviously now with their issues, it's going to set them back. It's going to put them back behind the 8 ball a little bit more out there on the speedway, and that could definitely prove very difficult. A lot of these drivers, as the cautions, the chaos, the intensity continues to build, and for each and every one of these drivers, as the yellow flags continue to fly, it just gives you more time to kind of sit in your own thoughts, kind of get a little sidetracked, and that's where we can see a lot more mistakes being made and a lot more frustration starting to pop out for a lot of these drivers, as we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to rock and roll, get back to green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway, as we're going to get a quick word in from our sponsors over at Johnny Johnson Motorsports. Here we go. go, getting ready to go back. The green flag racing is nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. Green flag is back into the air here at Richmond Raceway. And it's still Jack Drucker who continues to hold on to the top spot. Drucker just doing a fantastic job, hitting his marks, getting these good launches, good restarts, able to run a couple laps, catch another caution flag, and continue to keep these guys back there at bay. We saw him getting a whole lot more hassle there throughout that longer green flag run. We saw a lot of these drivers all over his back bumper. They weren't able to make the pass. They weren't able to get around him, but they were there within striking distance. We'll have to wait and see if they can find their way back to the front and put up a challenge here with this 56 ride for the late race lead. As nice and easy down across the line, they will complete lap number 94 here this evening as Justin Duran jumps up into second. McManus falls back into third. Brandon Combs, great run and great rebound here for Combs. We saw him get tied up early on, have a lot of damage to that 228 ride, and here he is battling his way back up inside the top 4, and it looks like he's got a bit of a hot rod here this evening. And for this 228 of Brandon Combs, he's looking to try to pick up that third spot here on the speedway and try to figure out a way to get around Trevor McManus. As Rooster Rollins right there in 5th, trying to hold off Skylar Berry as Berry will roll down to his inside. The 8 rider, Ronald Kingston, back up inside the top 10 here. He's shown some pretty good speed, some pretty good pace out of this fallout number 8 ride. And for Kingston, he rolls right there in 7th with Joe Yanks back there in 8th, Eric Hegdel in 9th, and Jesse Calloway rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Now he's got Brody Bente there rolling to his outside, but man, this is some good hard racing, man. These guys are not giving an inch out there on the racetrack. They're taking everything they can, every run, every inch, and trying to put themselves up and into a winning position out there on the speedways. They still battle door to door here. Mid-pack trying to race their way to the front, trying to put themselves into a better spot here for late in this race as they continue to go back and forth out there on the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already and you guys are enjoying the show, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today, and cheer on your favorite drivers out there on the speedway. As down across the line, they'll click off another lap. Drucker has been out in front for, gosh, I don't even know how many laps here. I mean, he really only ran probably about 3-4 laps there when he wasn't out in front after that stage break. So I think really for Jack Drucker, he's inching closer and closer towards leading 100 laps here this evening. As here he comes, nice and easy, down out of corner number 4, across the line. 100 laps are now done here this evening. So 100 laps completed, and we inch closer and closer to our midway point here of this race. The halfway marker just around the corner, and for Jack Drucker, he's hoping to lead us across the line there for that halfway race lead as he continues to hold on, continues to hold off Trevor McManus. McManus has worked his way up and into second again here. Unfortunately for Justin Duran, he has fallen back as the 30 ride now sits in 4th as Brandon Combs has worked his way up and into that 3rd spot here on the speedway. Skylar Berry now trying to work his way around that 30 machine as, unfortunately for Justin Duran, he's going to continue to fall a little farther back here as we'll keep a close eye on this battle. But Berry couldn't quite make that pass. Eric Hagdel's right there now trying to work on that number 46 machine. Rooster Rodden, Jesse Calloway, Joe Yanks, and Keith Prince rounding out our top 10. Good run going here for Callaway. Great run going for that beautiful Sherwin-Williams number 3 machine as the Johnny Johnson Motorsports ride right now, rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. As then you do see Ronald Kingston, David Trailers right there as well, trying to race his way back up towards the front. So is Brody Bente, Zach Kelly, Brandon McNutt. A lot of these drivers trying to work their way up there as Ronnie Stewart, what's good, Ronnie? Ronnie says Peacemaker is motorsport racing all you like, or do you like real horsepower Kentucky Derby this weekend? Just wondering. I mean, I've never really gotten into the horse racing. Now, I mean, I've seen highlights, I've seen videos and everything else of horse racing. I've worked and do help out at a horse farm up here in Canada, and you know, one of my best friends, his aunt owns it, and you know, we always do things with them, help them out with horse shows and stuff like that. So I'm definitely, you know, kind of into that stuff. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched a Kentucky Derby or anything, or really, you know, paid attention to any of the pre-race stuff. I usually just see the, you know, TSN highlights and stuff like that of the main Kentucky Derby race, you know, and none of the other, you know, shows out there. But definitely something I'd probably enjoy, and something that would probably be pretty fun to sit back, relax, and watch some, you know, some horse racing out there, as well as obviously we definitely like, you know, a little bit more ponies, you know, a little extra horsepower than what the Kentucky Derby has to offer. And here tonight we see a lot of those horsepowers going to battle, duking it out here in this one, as we are over halfway through this race. Nice and easy down across the line. They complete lap 108 here this evening. So 108 laps now completed here this evening, and for Jack Drucker, man, he's been out front for now over 100 laps of racing action here this evening, man. Does anybody have something for this 56 run? Can somebody beat Drucker here this evening? Brandon Combs right there in position number 2. Does Brandon, who we've seen, you know, run into early issues, go back deeper in the field, have more problems, go even farther back there in the pack, trying to make more pit stops, trying to get that 228 ride repaired, and now here he is racing his way right up through the field and up and into position number 2, just in behind his teammate out there on the racetrack. So for Drucker, familiar face back there behind him here, as he did see his teammate there for a while, but now here comes Trevor McManus looking to try to take that spot back away from that number 228 machine, as Ronnie says, might have to get you down here to check it out. Oh, brother, that would be wild. That would definitely be wild, man, to go and watch some horse racing, brother. I feel like that'd be really fun. We don't really have much of that up here in Canada, like actual horse racing. We tend to have more horse shows. I know there used to be a couple horse tracks, but I don't know if there's really many left around here. Maybe Niagara Falls might have a horse track. I think that's probably about it. I mean, that I know of. Maybe Ottawa's got something, or maybe there's more towards Toronto. I don't know. Let's take a look here. All right, let's take a look at that. Horse racing tracks in Ontario. Okay, so there is a few. So we have the Ajax Downs racetrack. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty dope. Georgian Downs. Where the heck is that? Georgian Downs. Wow, that is way up north above. Well, I guess that's probably closer to like Barrie right there. Fort Erie racetrack. Okay, that's the Niagara Falls one. The Fort Erie's racetrack. That's the one I kind of thought of there at Niagara Falls. Is that one? Georgia Downs. Yeah, that's Innisfil up towards Barrie. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, well, there is quite a few, actually. Wow, whoa. How is there so many? There is way... Okay, these are a bunch of other racetracks. The Raceway at Western Fair District? What is that? Okay, that's another horse racing track. Clinton Raceway, out by Godrich. Wow, what is... I don't think I've ever really looked into it, but there is so many. Yeah, there's the one that I think I've been to a couple times, which is Kawartha Downs. I don't even know if they do horse racing there anymore, but man, there is definitely... The farther west you go in Ontario from where I am, there is a lot of horse racing, but to where I am, there's not a lot around it. There is not a lot at all. This is Calabogie Motorsports. No. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Nope. Nope, that's not one. Nope. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, so Eastern Ontario really has nothing. Western Ontario definitely has a bunch of horse racing. That's interesting to see. That's interesting to see is that there's so much horse racing on one side of Ontario and not the other side out there. So that is definitely fun as here we go. Battling out in front. Obviously, Jack Drucker's just pulled away and continue to run away here with this one. And now that they are dicing it up here for position number 2, he has pulled farther and farther away as Combs trying to hang on to that second spot. McManus has been all over him. They've been back and forth. Now here comes Eric Hagdal, Justin Duran. They're right into the mix. They want to continue to keep on this battle and try to race their way a little farther forward through our top 5. Good to see Hagdal up there. He had some early race issues in that Red Bull Toyota, and now here he is up inside the top 5, midway through this race and battling his way up towards the front of the field. Right there behind him, Rooster Rodden. Rooster up and into that 6th position, trying to hang on and battle back after getting turned around himself early on in this race. As Callaway still up inside our top 7 here this evening. Man, this has been a great run and a great race for Jesse Callaway, man. Hopefully he can finish this one off as the Pabst Blue Ribbon for Machine, man. Great run, great performance from him here this evening. Clinton Woodby back in 8th. David Traylor rolls there in 9th. Keith Prince up and in 10th here, doing a great job this afternoon here himself. Skylar Berry's there in 11th, and a bit of a gap back to our 12th place driver, Brendan McNutt. And then we do see Evan Schilling, Joe Yakes, Brody Bente's back there. He's 3 wide with Ronald Kingston and Zach Kelly down to his inside. Harrison Crosby right there in that beautiful Firehouse Subs number 7 ride rolls back in 18th with Bruce Bernard, Justin Lee, Jesse Wise, Ryan Cunningham, Stephen Luttrell, Colton Hardy bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. Now for Cunningham and for Stephen Luttrell, they are both, unfortunately, I believe, a lap down out there on the speedway, maybe 2 laps down even out there on the racetrack now. So they're kind of stuck back here a little deeper in the field. They're going to need some more caution flags and some more opportunities to get the lucky dogs and to get themselves back into the battle. But now here we go. Potentially green flag pit stop starting to roll. Here comes Clinton Woodby, first driver down pit side for green flag pit stops here this evening. So for the Goldberg 92 machine, he hits pit road. For Jack Drucker, though, our race leader, looks like he's going to stay out for a little bit longer out there on the racetrack and trying to keep these guys farther and farther away from his back bumper as he's now opened up about a 2.4 second lead between himself and his teammate in the 2:28. Brandon Combs still trying to hang on to position number 2 as now McMahon is trying to hold off Eric Hagdal for that 3rd position. Hagdal down low, looking to try to take this spot away from Trevor McManus. Says you see a lot more drivers starting to roll and use that outside lane here. As this run has went on, these tires are getting more and more worn out, and obviously a lot more drivers working their way higher and higher out there on the racetrack, and now seeing some lap traffic come into play as well. That is that Shitty Coolers 69 rider Jesse Wise, who had just fallen a lap down out there on the racetrack. So Wise falls a lap down here himself. Clinton Woodby, unfortunately, after making that pit stop, he is a lap down, so he really needs to see this race kind of cycle around here. He does not want to see another issue out there on the racetrack. As Ronnie says, the distraction worked. It definitely did work. It definitely did work. I mean, hey, I'm always down to, research and look some things up and try to figure some things out here and have some fun at the same time here with you guys in these broadcasts. And obviously, it's always interesting just trying to figure different things out, and see what you guys are interested in as well there in the fans in the stands. As Woodby, though, he's rolling back here in 20th. Needs to see more and more drivers start to head down pit lane here. If he doesn't, it could definitely set him back if there's an untimely caution flag out there on the racetrack. But Jack Drucker out in front, man. He's just a man on a mission here this evening now. 3.2, almost 3.3 seconds between himself and Brandon Combs. Combs still trying to hold on to position number 2. McManus, Justin Duran, Eric Hagdal, they continue to switch positions. They continue to keep on battling here for that second spot on the speedway. Brandon Combs does not want to give it up, man, as now you do see the 30 Ryan get a little piece of the outside fence right there. That's a tough hit for Justin Durr, and that will slide him back as the 11 rider, Eric Hagdal, will take advantage of it. Jump right back up into position number 4, trying to reel back in that second and third place driver just in front of him. You do see the 0-1 of Rooster Rodden. He's quickly catching up to these guys. He wants to join this battle here and try to work his way back up inside the top 5 here this evening. Then about a 3-second gap back to our 7th place driver here, Jesse Calloway. He's got David Traylor, Skylar Berry, Keith Prince, all right there behind him. Unfortunately, though, we do still see, drivers now coming down pit side. We see Wise now down a lap out there on the racetrack. Justin Lee's down a couple laps here as well in that number 23 machine. Colton Hardy, he's a few laps down back there as well. So, oh no, Jesse Wise! Black flag, too fast exiting pit road for the number 69 ride. And for that shitty Coolers machine, you see the damage there on the right front. We saw how slow he was out there on the racetrack and now has to make an emergency pit stop here as well to serve this penalty. Heartbreaker there, as that'll set him back even more here in this one, and that could cause a really, really bad race here for that 69 ride. As we do see Rooster Rodden. Rooster, one of our front runners, hits pit road. So doesn't Zach Kelly and Brody Bente, as the caution flag will fly. Yellow flag comes out. It could have been the perfect timing here for these 3 drivers. As let's take a look and see what happens, as I believe Ronald Kingston going to run into some problems here. So let's take another look here at Ronald Kingston, see what happens here to the 8, as it looks like he tries to drive down towards the apron, maybe coming down pit lane. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the 32 just absolutely cleaned him out right there. All right, so the 32 truck just sent it in there deep. The 8 right trying to hit pit road, and unfortunately here for a driver that's already a lap or multiple laps down, this is going to be a big caution flag out there on the racetrack, as, and he had a lot of time to figure out kind of what this 8 ride was doing, as and just drives in there deep, trying to just carry all that speed and momentum, and I think just, I don't know, the 8 ride just on entry, but you can see other drivers using pit road right here as well. You see the flames coming out of the 8 ride. That tells you he's rolling out of the throttle here, and man, it's not a whole lot of swerve right there to try to avoid that 8 machine. That definitely looks a whole lot worse than what it may have been, but see if we can jump on board here. Take a look inside the cockpit of this number 32 Ryan and see what Brian Cunningham's seeing out there on the racetrack. Is a big run, trying to carry all this speed and momentum, and I mean, he's out of the throttle, but you don't really hear the brakes too much. Obviously going to get on the throttle to make the corner. So he didn't full throttle him, but definitely got in there. Took him out right there. Jacked him up, turned him around. Big hit there, obviously, for the front end of the 32. Big hit for Ronald Kingston into the back end of that 8 ride. And obviously now this is going to put a lot of drivers into some difficult positions here, as we did see pit stops here. And it looks like we will have a new race leader out of pit road. Brandon Combs beats his teammate Jack Drucker out of pit lane here, and Combs will now be our new race leader. Drucker will be back there in position number 2, as we do see a few drivers lined up looking for the wave arounds here. Zach Kelly, looks like maybe the 38 of Justin Lee. I'm assuming you're going to see Colton Hardy's in there. That 0-1 of Rooster Rodden wants the wave around. A lot of these drivers trying to get themselves back into the action, back into the battle, and on the lead lap here, or a little closer to that lead lap here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, as 138 laps completed here in this feature event. So 138 laps down. It'll be 139 laps completed here as we go back to Green Flag Racing. And as we go back to Green Flag Racing, we're going to jump into the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up here this evening. So what we want you guys to do is crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here with the Full Throttle Outlaws. Alrighty, caution flag will fly. You did see that driver go around there on the front straightaway. Again, it is the 8 machine of Ronald Kingston. So Kingston is going to go around here again. Looks like Joe Yanks also going to get sideways here, down and out of core number 4. We'll take a look back, see what happened here. As obviously drivers trying to push as hard as they can out there on the speedway, trying to get these big runs and trying to gain those extra couple positions. Unfortunately here for the 87, gets loose, goes around, goes for a slide down through the infield grass, and as he does that, I do believe at this same point in time, Kingston also going to run into pretty much the exact same scenario, the exact same issue, almost in the exact same spot on the racetrack. Is just out of corner number 4, lose that rear end, goes around, locks it down, and stop there sideways on the racetrack. That's where the caution flag is displayed again here this evening. So another yellow flag. One driver goes for landscaping duty down through the infield grass, and another driver, luckily enough, avoids landscaping duty there. Keeps his truck on the racing surface, but unfortunately will stay back there pretty deep in the field as he scored back in that 20th position as of right now, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here. Back to green flag racing, back to the Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. But obviously, for a lot of these drivers, they want to see some more good green flag laps being laid down here. There's still a lot of racing left to go, still a lot of battles left to be had here this afternoon. As nice and easy down across the line, they will complete lap 144 here this evening. So 144 laps completed. I do believe that is 61 more laps left to go here in this race, something like that. 61 more laps left to duke it out here at Richmond Raceway. Still a lot of time to, have, good issues, have bad issues, get tore up or get repaired and back out there, as we did see after the yellow flag was displayed. So the caution was already out down the front straightaway here. Now we're going to see the 59 ride under yellow. They're definitely slowed up here on the racetrack. I'm not sure what may have happened here, as it looks like Trevor McManus pulls down to the inside here. Looks like he gets stopped on the back straightaway. Not sure what this is all about, but for Trevor McManus, stopped there on the racetrack, it's going to set him back, but I do believe he may have just had to go quickly use the bathroom, as they've given him his spot back. So that's a great break there for the 59 ride, as the beautiful bump and run Motorsports Skidoo at number 59 ride rolls there in position number 4. He'll look for more, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing. Lights are off the official iRacing pace truck with only 60 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. We'll jump back in to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So again, crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, yellow flag will be displayed again. Caution flag out there on the racetrack as our 11th yellow here of the evening. Obviously, now that we're getting into the double digits here, the intensity, the maybe just the duration of this one and all the yellow flag laps for these drivers maybe starting to eat at them a little bit out there on the speedway, and maybe frustration starting to boil over as well, as we'll see the 3 rider Keith Prince here. Prince on corner exit, just looks like, just gets loose up there on the high side. No contact, no help there, but just loses that rear round. Let's see if we get another look here at Keith Prince, see what happens here as the 3 machine just steps out and around on him as the Johnny Johnson Motorsports ride. Trying to have a good run right there. Gets on the throttle a little too much, a little too quick. Lose that rear end, goes around the 48 ride. Nowhere to go there. McNutt does get a little piece of him, helps him go around. And for the Johnny Johnson Motorsports, Songs for Sound, number 3 machine, that Sherwin-Williams ride, goes for his own loop-de-loop. Unfortunately, that will put him towards the rear of the field and takes him outside of the top 10 here. We'll see if he can battle his way back up there, back into the battle towards the front, and to finish off this race with a good, solid day at the Speedway. But another caution flag, another yellow here for each and every one of these drivers, and that means another opportunity on another restart to try to find your way up and into victory lane as Jack Drucker continues to hold on to the top spot here, man. We did see his teammate Brandon Combs able to steal the lead away down pit side, but during these restarts, Drucker jumped right back out in front and taking that race lead back away from Brandon Combs, and just continues on his torrid pace of just trying to kind of be that reflection of perfection here this evening, as he has led a ton of laps here today. I'm going to say probably closer to 130, 140 laps out of 150 laps completed here this evening. This Cincinnati Chevy Silverado has been at the front of the field showing these drivers how to get it done here at Richmond Raceway, and now obviously a bunch of back-to-back caution flags here. The yellows, breeding yellows out there on the speedway has really started to, just group these drivers a lot more closer together. They know they're running at a time with only 54 laps left to go here down across the line. They know that's not a whole lot of time to work yourself forward. That's a lot of passes you got to make rather quickly to try to race your way up towards the front of the field here, and I think some of that just intensity is ramping up here. The drive to get to the front is starting to get a little bit crazy, and for a lot of these drivers, they're definitely getting a little crazy out there on the racetrack themselves, and it's going to produce for some crazy action, some great racing here late in this race, but it could also come with the cost of a lot of yellow flags, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing, and ready to go back to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. Let's see if we got a few laps in here to give you guys the sights and sounds around Richmond Raceway. Alrighty, caution flag is back out as a beautiful Peacemaker Gaming crank it up for us out there on the speedway. That's going to bring it close to the Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this evening with that caution flag. So we'll take a look back. We'll see what happened, what brings out the caution flag again here at the speedways. It looks like David Trailer, Justin Durant, a couple of our front runners getting tied together and tore up out there on the racetrack. Let's take a look at it here as obviously you take a look at the 54 David Trailer. He's trying to find his way underneath of this 30 ride, and it looks like out of corner number 2. All right there, Durant gets a little bit loose, and unfortunately, as he does get loose out of corner number 2, the 54 David Trailer gets a really good run, really good drive right here coming out of the corner. So you can get another look at it. It'll be tough to see here, but you're going to see, obviously, for the 30 truck right there, gets loose. As he gets that tire spin, no forward bite, no forward traction. Unfortunately, gets kind of spinning the tires right there. Loses that speed, that momentum. Obviously, for the 54, split-second decision. Doesn't have time to roll out of the throttle quick enough. Gets into that left rear quarter panel of the 30 machine, and it sends both drivers down and into the infield fence out of corner number 2. So a caution flag, and for a lot of these drivers, that was a timely yellow flag as they're able to get some good pit stops in right here. And this could really bring them towards that picture frame of being able to make it here without having to make an additional green flag pit stop here this evening, as they should. Pretty much everyone down pit side there on lap 167. They should be good to make it to the end of this race, but there could be a few drivers that maybe are already into that fuel window, that are already good on fuel here for the finish of this feature event. As we saw Jack Drucker, Brandon Combs, Trevor McManus, Eric Hagdal, Rooster Rodden, Clinton Woodby, even Evan Schilling all stayed out here, did not come down pit side. Same with Joe Yakes, as our top 8 did not pit here. But now we do see, obviously, Jesse Calloway, Prince, Bernard, Trailer, Durant, Kelly, Ronald Kingston, Skylar Berry, all these drivers were down pit side making pit stops, and now that's going to really set the stage. If they got some tires saved up, if they want to use them now, can they work their way to the front and potentially put themselves into winning position? And then at the same point in time, does Drucker, Combs, and the rest of our top 8, if they're on the racetrack, do they have an extra set back behind pit wall for maybe an even later late race caution flag that could work into their favor so they can hunt down and maybe pick up the dub here this evening? We'll have to wait and see. Lots of strategy left to be had here. Still a lot of racing action here this evening as the lights are still on the official iRacing pace truck out there on the racetrack, and we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to battle for what is going to be an absolutely amazing, amazing finish to this feature event, man. I mean, there's still a good amount of time, still a good chunk of time. Race your way forward to put yourself into a good position, a good finish here this evening. And I think as that kind of gets a little bit clearer and clearer, that's where we see even more mistakes being made. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw still another 3, 4, 5 caution flags before the end of this race. The way it's kind of went, and the way that this track is, and the intensity builds up, and everyone's trying to get that extra little bit late in the race, that's where big mistakes are made, and you put yourself or others into a deep hole out there on the racetrack very, very late in this one. As here we go back to green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway in the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. Is out in front, it is that 56 of Jack Drucker. Drucker needs to hold on to the top spot here. His teammate, that 228 machine of Combs, right there on his back bumper. Unfortunately there for their team, they got another driver a little deeper in the pack here, and unfortunately that's going to keep them kind of back there at bay just a little bit more, as I believe Brandon McNutt has shown speed, but he's gotten tied up, he's gotten turned around, and just hasn't really had the run we kind of expected out of that Ally 48 ride. But nonetheless, here we go. Caution flag is back out. Yellow flag, and this time it is the Firehouse Subs number 7 of Harrison Crosby who goes around, and he's going to tow it right down pit side here. heartbreaker for Harrison. Let's take another look at it as the Firehouse Subs number 7 ride. All the Crosby fans in the stands, you may want to look away as Kingston sideways, and then, oh man, oh no, big hit there for the 7. Looks like the motor is expired on that race car. That hit there, you hear the bottom end kind of drop right out of it. And unfortunately, I believe it's Ronald Kingston here. I don't know if he gets a little help or if he just kind of gets loose out of corner number 2. And he just gets loose, tries to save it, overcorrects. And as he does overcorrect it right there, you see him kind of wash back up the racetrack into the racing line. This is where we're going to see a bunch of these drivers, including that number 63, Abente. He's going to get the first lick here into him. Big hit right there into the 8 ride. Skylar Barry gets some pretty good damage there as well. Harrison Crosby does a great job to avoid the 8 ride, but shooting down onto the apron, unfortunately, just unsettles this race car. Shoots him up the racetrack, and unfortunately here for Crosby, as he does come back up the track, hard contact into the 46 of Skylar Barry. So big damage there for Crosby, big damage for 46 of Skylar Barry. Obviously we saw damage for Brody Bente, and obviously for Ronald Kingston, big damage there for him as well, as the yellow flag comes out now for now the 13th time this afternoon, our 13th yellow flag here this evening. And unfortunately for all the Crosby fans in the stands, your driver still parked down pit side, still trying to get this thing repaired and hopefully back out there to run some more laps late in this race. But unfortunately, he is going to find himself multiple laps down now out there on the racetrack. As Jack Drucker, though, out in front. Man, can he cap this off? Can he find victory lane? There's 30 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. Does he have what it takes to hold these guys off? And how many more yellows do we see? How many more cautions could potentially fly to where this could put drivers into a bit of a hole here when it comes to the points, when it comes to this race? You know, you get tied up in a late race yellow. You start back there, you know, back in 18th position. You know, you're so far back there. Even if you do have those fresher tires, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be able to use them to gain that much track time and track position back late in this race. As Jack Drucker, though, out in front, says, you know what? I have made my bed. I am going to lay in it, and I am going to get ready for another big restart where he'll look to try to keep his teammate Brandon Combs and the rest of the field back there at bay. But you do see Clinton Woodby, and I mean, a lot of these drivers that were down pit side on lap 167, I don't know if they just didn't have a lot of time there, but none of them really moved forward out there on the racetrack. So for right now, it seems like our top 8 still on those older tires and older strategy here this evening. Is the green flag back into the air. Another good restart right there for Drucker. Holds off his teammate, clears him down and out at corner number 2. And for Jack Drucker, man, he just continues on his torrid pace, looking for a big win here this evening at Richmond Raceway. And for right now, man, it looks like it's working out perfectly for him, as he just sits out in front, hit these restarts, and keeping these guys back there behind him, man. Some great racing, some great battles all day long and throughout this entire race, and it's going to continue to get more and more crazy here this evening as we do see the caution flag come back out. So we saw Drucker last week. Drucker was able to pick up the dub there at, I believe that was Worldwide Technology Raceway. Drucker got it done, so he's looking to pick up another one here in this one. He also won our season opener back at Daytona. So for Drucker, he's won 2 of 3 races here to start this season, and he's going to look to continue on this torrid pace and trying to obviously pick up more and more checkered flags, and we'll see if he can get it done here in this one, as the yellow flag does come back out. This time it looks like Keith Prince going to run into some issues here. So for the second time tonight, we're going to see Prince in that Sherwin-Williams number 3 machine running into some problems down through corner 1 and 2. Looks like this one, he may get a little helping hand here. Oh no. Looks like he does get a helping hand, as it looks like the 30 ride of Justin Duran going to get into him right here and help kind of spin him around at corner number 2 right here. Let's take a look at it. So for the Johnny Johnson Motorsports number 3 machine, down out of corner number 2 right here. You see the 30 right kind of just push up the racetrack on corner exit. Unfortunately, pushes up right into that left rear quarter panel of the 3 right, and unfortunately, they kind of get tied together again, and it just kind of continues the loop. That 3 machine around. He backs it into the inside safer barrier. Still a really big lick right there. Big hit for that truck, and unfortunately for Keith Prince, he's going to take it down pit road here, trying to get it repaired, trying to get it back out there on the racetrack, and that is going to bring another driver, another lap back here into the good, and I believe it's Steven Luttrell who's going to get the wave around back on the lead lap here. So for all the Luttrell fans in the stands, here he is, right back on the lead lap, right back into the battle here this evening. As Harrison Crosby, Harrison in the chat himself says, well, that's a way to go out. That is definitely one way to go out right there, brother. That's a tough hit, tough break right there. Great piece of driving, avoiding that spun out race car. Unfortunately, just, lost that rear end, trying to make that big move to avoid contact with one car to put you up in the outside fence with what could have been even worse contact there and worse damage. Nonetheless, though, tough break there for Harrison Crosby, and we can't wait to either see him get back out there late in this race or back out there again next Friday night. But for right now, Harrison still down pit side here. Multiple laps down, about 10 laps down now out on the racetrack. And unfortunately, looks like his chances of having a really good run, a really good race, kind of just went out the window there over the last few yellow flags as it set him back. And then obviously gets tied up there in that wreck. As here we go. Stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. As Harrison says, was struggling with self-caused issues. Drove over pit exit twice, sending me back time after time. Yeah, that is definitely tough, man. That is definitely tough. Those pit road penalties will definitely cost you a good run and a solid performance out there on the racetrack. And obviously now maybe wanting to strive a little bit better. I don't know if we have Richmond on the schedule again this season, but obviously, you're here for this season, for next season, for a lot of racetracks that are a lot like Richmond. I mean, a really, really good learning experience there for Harrison Crosby, man. Great learning experience, really going to help try to set him up here, in the later half of our season as we're still really early into the season. This is only race number 4, so still a lot of action, still a lot of beating and banging, a lot of battling left to go here before the season comes to a close. As Don and Son says, it's all good, man. You did great. You definitely did great, man. Did great. Had a good run going, man. Got us hungry up here in the booth with that Firehouse Subs number 7 ride. And unfortunately, maybe an early exit here for Harrison Crosby. But nonetheless, some great racing at the front of the field is out in front. Just continue to do what he does. Jack Drucker out in front, leading the charge here at Richmond Raceway. Brandon Combs right there with them in second. Eric Hegdel's back in third with the 92 rider. Clinton Woodby there in fourth. Brewster Rodden there in fifth. Jesse Calloway, Trevor McManus, the number 54, David Trailer, into that 8th position. Skylar Berry and Evan Schilling rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway is Zach Kelly, Keith Prince, Brennan McNutt, Brody Bente, Justin Duran running at the top 15. Bruce Bernard, Joe Yates, Stephen Luttrell, Justin Lee rounding out our lead lap drivers here. Unfortunately for Colton Hardy, still a couple laps down there for that number 97 Ryan. Going to need a few more lucky dogs, a few more caution flags to get himself back into the battle. And unfortunately for Cunningham back there, he is a lot of laps down. Kingston's down pit side here as well, off the racetrack. And out of this race, Harrison Crosby still parked down pit side here. And unfortunately, it looks like Jesse Wise has also called it a day early here this evening as well, as he is not back out there on the racetrack. But out in front, it is this number 56 of Jack Drucker here, man, is the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League, putting together a great show and a great race for us as we see 15 laps left to go. 15 more laps left to duke it out here in this one. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. Hit that thumbs up button here on the broadcast. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, chat. This is what we came here for, man. The pay window is open. Your time to shine is now, or at least after this caution flag is a late race yellow will fly. Oh, brother, here we go. Late race yellow, and this could really mix up the field here, man. Who's going to maybe take a gamble? Who's going to take a chance to maybe hit pit road and try to get something to happen? But let's take a look here, see what happens as we see the 48 ride. Brendan McNutt, he's in the right direction. Now the 3 ride of Keith Prince is up into the outside fence here, but I didn't really see too much issues here. Okay, there we go. So he does kind of get a piece here. Looks like the 63 of Brody Bente going to get up into that 3 ride right here. Gets in, gets tight on corner entry, washes into that left rear quarter panel, slides Prince up the racetrack into the outside fence. Now, I'm not sure if that was exactly the caution flag or not, but we did see Trevor McManus also come down pit road here during this pit stop. Let's take a look. So McManus was A-okay. He had no issues there. So he's just making a strategy call. He hits pit road. He gets some work done to that number 59 ride and maybe some late race tires going on to this 59 machine as well. See if he can pick his way through the field and race his way up to the front. We also saw Brendan McNutt also down pit side here. Same with Keith Prince, obviously looking to get some more repairs done to that 3 machine. But you do see Colton Hardy, Brian Cunningham, Kingston, Crosby, Wise out of the rear of the field here in this one as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to duke it out again, ready to go back to battle here as I do believe lights are still on the official iRacing pace truck. So probably roughly around 10 laps left to go when we go back to green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway as we'll get ready to pull these NASCAR drivers up and into the booth and into the winner's circle here this evening. We'll see how that gets played out as we'll get a quick word in here from our sponsors here in the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. Alrighty, shout out there to our amazing sponsors again this evening as here we go. It'll be potentially a 10-lap shootout. It's down through that restart zone. Here we go. Great launch, great jump there for Drucker as Drucker looking to hold these guys off, but here comes his teammate Brandon Combs. Big run down through the center of 1 and 2, able to stay almost door to door there with Drucker. Drucker though down the back straightaway, able to use that outside lane momentum to try to keep that 228 machine pinned back there and behind him, and it looks like it'll work out perfectly for him as he will clear all these drivers back behind him again. And now we do see a lot of these drivers just trying to hang on, trying to put themselves into a good position, a good finish, trying to maximize their day points-wise out there on the speedway. But for Jack Drucker, with already 2 wins here in 3 races to start this season, can he make it 3 of 4 with another dub here at Richmond Raceway as that number 56 out in front, continue to hold down the top spot. Woodby's up and into second. Brandon Combs falls back into position number 3. He's got Eric Hegdal, Jesse Calloway right there behind him. And look at Calloway, man. What a run, what a race for Jesse. Up inside our top 5. Be great to see that young man be able to finish this off with a good, solid top 5 run out there on the speedway. David Trailers back there behind him there in 6. Skylar Berry's there as well in position number 7. Then we do see Rooster Rodden, Zach Kelly, and I believe Evan Schilling rounding out our top 10. But look out, there they go! Oh, caution flag is back out. Yellow flag, yellow flag. Late in this race, another caution. Let's see if we can get a look at it, as there it is. Contact down through corner number 3 and 4. It looks like maybe the 30 truck here, Justin Durand, going to get a little contact, a little helping hand here from the number 59 of McManus, as McManus trying to race his way through here. Unfortunately, gets in deep, looks underneath of that 30 Ryan, maybe saw a hole there for a second or two. Unfortunately, it quickly evaporated, and he ends up spinning the beautiful number 30 ride down pit side and back behind the 8 ball, back deep in the field here for Justin Durand, and he's got to try to battle hard back into a good finish and a good solid run here this evening. But now that we see these laps continue to get clicked down, we just finished lap number 200, and as we go back to green flag racing, it could be a green-white checker. We'll have to wait and see when the lights turn off the official iRacing pace truck. Maybe it'll be a 3-lap shootout. But more than likely, we may see a green-white checkered or two here this evening. For how chaotic and crazy this race has been, it definitely would not surprise me to see these guys really have to battle, really have to duke it out here for the win this afternoon. But we'll get them all rolling, ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here as should see the lights turn off the official iRacing pace truck this time, and it does not look like it. So it looks like we will get another lap here. So the caution is extended. We're not going to green-white checkered as of yet, but it will be a green-white checkered. It will not be NASCAR overtime for these drivers. So no NASCAR overtime here with this restart, but with the lights staying on, next time by they'll complete lap number 202. When we go back to green flag racing, they will complete lap 203, meaning we have a 2-lap shootout here to the checkered flag this evening. So for each and every one of these drivers, woo, doggy, it is on like Donkey Kong as things are going to get wild here. There's going to be maybe some chaos. I just want to see these guys be able to get back to the start-finish line here, pick up that white flag, and then let all hell break loose there on that final lap as Drucker getting ready for what will be his biggest restart of the evening. He's been out in front. He's led the way for a ton here this evening. And obviously now with 16 caution flags on the day, he's gotten pretty good at these restarts, but maybe the drivers around him have kind of learned his strategy. Maybe they will be able to get a jump. Maybe they will be able to take advantage here of this late race restart and try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle here at Richmond Raceways. Here we go. Pace truck makes the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. And for the 56 of Jack Drucker through that restart zone, perfect launch there for Drucker. Would be sleeping a little bit. That allowed the 228 of Brandon Combs to work his way right back up into second. Now would be trying to work his way back around this 228 machine, but down into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. Back down and across the line. They will see the white flag fly. So the next flag will be the checkered flag no matter what. They will race back to the start-finish line here this evening is our final lap here this evening from Richmond Raceway in the Full Throttle Racing League is Jack Drucker for the final time through 3 and out of 4. A familiar face back up into the winner's circle as Jack Drucker picks up the dub. It is his 3rd win here in 4 races to start this season, man. What a tear he has been on as Drucker picks up the dub. Man, what a run, what a race for him. I mean, class of the field all night long. I think the rightful driver, the rightful truck found victory lane here this evening as he was kind of in a different area code here all evening. And for Drucker gets to celebrate win number 3 early on in this season. Only 4 races in, he's got 3 of them under his belt, and Drucker's going to celebrate here at Richmond Raceways. We'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. Post-race interviews going to come up here in just a couple more moments, so don't go anywhere because you do not want to miss, obviously, the celebration, but our post-race interviews with these drivers. Alrighty, it's Drucker burning down the house here at Richmond. We'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our top three up here into the booth, man. Great run, great drive there for that 56 machine. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth right now, potentially. Potentially we can get him in there right now. We'll wait and see if he can jump into the waiting room. We do see David Trailer in there. Now we're waiting for the rest of our top three, waiting for Combs and Drucker to jump into that waiting room. Maybe we can see them and drag them in here, maybe. Let's take a look. Where are they at? Okay, they're way down here. Okay, so we'll have to wait for them to jump into the waiting room here and then pull them in. Okay, there it is. All right, so our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jack Drucker. Give it up for him one more time as we get him up here into the booth. Hey, Jack, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you. How you doing, Aaron?
Not too bad, Jack, man. You're making a regular appearance up here now on these Friday nights as win number 3 here in 4 races to start the season. Brother, take us back through it as an absolute dominant race truck and race here this evening for you, and you're able to cap it off with a green-white checkered finish and still putting yourself up here into victory lane, brother. Take us back through what's going to go through your mind.
Well, let's just keep trying to ride the hot hand, right? Because I'm not sure if I'll be making an appearance up here next week with Watkins Glen, but hopefully we'll come out of there with some good stage points at top 10. But as for tonight, let's enjoy it, have some fun. It's always good to lead a bunch of laps. Got a pole, got a stage win, so just keep rolling, getting that early points advantage. It's a good thing to have. What more can I say, right? It was good to have our Backplay Racing teammate Brandon Combs back in the field tonight. Good to see him up front getting some laps. I know he had some troubles early, but once he got up here, man, he was a fast truck. And Brendan McNutt, our other teammate, he had a pretty good run going tonight too. Kept his nose clean, so proud of him. I I hope that didn't stink up the show too much, but yeah, that was definitely a fun run.
Definitely a fun run, definitely a very interesting race, and obviously, yeah, just kind of waiting, biding our time, seeing if anybody had something for you there throughout this race, whether it was early on or later on, just seeing if somebody could, figure out maybe a restart, maybe trying to get a better jump, and unfortunately, just did not work out for those guys back there behind you. Even with your teammate, we thought, man, here comes Combs. He's ran into issues. He's battled back. He's showing a lot of speed out of that 228 ride. And now all of a sudden, here he is in second. Does he have something for him? Will he jump up and maybe try to steal this win away from you? And it just seemed like he had nothing for you there as well. Even throughout that little bit of a longer green flag run, we saw you break out to, almost a 4-second lead before the caution flag came out. So you were just pulling away from Combs and the rest of the field, and I think if this would have been a lot more clean and green, I'm not sure if anyone would have been anywhere within reach of trying to steal this win away from you. But some late race caution flags, drivers get right back tight to your back bumper there. Obviously, a green-white checkered, man, you just never quite know if someone's going to send it in there, if someone's going to try to just, bump you out of the way there. Take us through those final restarts and what was kind of going through your mind as anything can happen here late in these races.
I mean, we were getting worried probably like 40 to go, thinking, oh man, we got one set lane. Do you take it? Do you not? Because the problem is it's kind of like not like real Richmond in that sense, right? Because if we ran 50 laps on tires and you come in with 10 to go and get a set, like you could probably storm through the field. But it was kind of tricky to pass tonight, which kind of led to the decision to keep staying out because I felt like as long as I had track position, could defend that easier than it would be having to drive back through there, right? So kind of knew the bed was made with probably 20 of the 25 to go caution, and then once the bed's made, you hopefully just keep holding on. And I got worried about Clinton Woodby there. He had a hell of a run coming, and when he got in between me and Combs, I'm like, oh no, because like you said, you're not sure if somebody's gonna bump you, whatever. It's you lead that many laps, it's a shame to lose it, but luckily had one last little trick in the tank on that restart, had enough to get clear and set sail. So yeah, definitely proud to have 3 wins early here in the season and hopefully just keep it going.
Absolutely. Well, you said it first thing off, man. The hot hand out there on the racetrack as you pick up another dub here this evening, Jack. Who would you like to thank again tonight for another great run, strong performance, and another victory here in the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League?
I'd love to thank you guys at Peacemaker Gaming. I know you had some pretty successful streams lately, so nice to see that all around. Got some good friends and family out there watching, so appreciate all the support, all the love. Hendrick Motorsports partners, going to keep giving them shout outs. We love our Hendrick Motorsports partners, and hopefully see you next week, but we'll see.
Absolutely, brother. Definitely going to be real fun to watch you guys now, not only having to turn left, but also turn right there at Watkins Glen for race number 5 on the season. And it's going to be another good show, another interesting one. And, you know, as I said, maybe we'll see you back up here in the booth. Maybe we won't, but it'll be fun to see what you got up your sleeve there for us at the road course.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, bam, blam, man. Let's keep it going. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks so much.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Jack Drucker, as Sonic Graphic Designs in the chat says, get it 46, shared on that 46 of Skylar Barry. Barry with a pretty decent run. I mean, up inside the top 10, finished there in 9th. Good run, good drive there for Barry. We saw him get tied up in a couple of issues there. Got some pretty solid damage there. So being able to rebound for a good solid top 10. Good run for him. And huge shout out to Jesse Calloway as well. Jesse able to hang on to a top 5 run, man. What a drive for Calloway. Up inside the top 5, man. That was a hell of a show for him. Up inside the top 5, top 10, pretty much all evening long. And for Jesse, that was a really, really well put together race for him, man. Hopefully we see more and more good, solid efforts, good races like that out of that Ford machine out there on the speedways. We get ready now to pull in our second place finisher. Number 228, man. It is Brandon Combs who comes home in second. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Brandon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brandon, man, great run, great race back out there on the racetrack for you, man. Take us back through this one, as obviously early on got kind of tied up, got tore up out there on the racetrack. You had to get this car repaired, had to get it fixed up, and then try to work your way through traffic. And it seemed like throughout all these restarts early on and throughout the middle portion of this race, you would kind of work your way back up, you know, 5, 10, 15 positions, and then a caution flag would come out. You would come back down pit side, make that extra pit stop, try to get some more of this truck repaired, and then all of a sudden you'd start to pick and choose your way back up through the pack again, and then right back down pit side during the next yellow flag. So it was kind of a huge back and forth day for you there for at least the first half of this race. And then finally there, kind of after that 100-lap marker, you start to work your way forward. You get all the way up into second, and then from that point on, it's just a dogfight there with you and the rest of the drivers inside the top 5. And unfortunately for even yourself, just seemed like you could not find anything there with your teammate Jack Drucker, as he was just a man on a mission here this evening. And late in this race, it seemed like you guys were just all pretty much battling for position number 2 here this evening, knowing that it was going to take a miracle for somebody to beat that 56.
Yeah, it's definitely a chaotic race there. We had enough things go on in that race is what some people would probably have going on during the actual Coke 600, and we had that much going on in 70, 80 laps, like what you mentioned. And yeah, early in the race there, kind of a tough deal there. I can't remember exactly who it was, but he got loose in front of me and started spinning down the racetrack, and I just kind of had nowhere to go and got some damage there. And yeah, just every pit stop trying to just fix as much as I could and getting that optional repair down without having to burn a fast repair. And finally was able to work my way up the second there and that longer run. And I was still dealing with some damage that it wouldn't fix. So the next chance I got, I went ahead and got the truck fixed. So I was really only 100% there for like the last 80 laps or so. But yeah, it was fun. It was definitely challenging trying to pass tonight. It might have been one of the hardest that I've seen it with trying to pass people.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a challenge. Would it be fun?
Hey, exactly, and that's the key to it right there. Having fun, enjoying your time out there on the racetrack, and even through all the cautions and the chaos here this evening, man, looked like it was a blast out there, man. A lot of good, hard battling out there, a lot of two wide and bumper-to-bumper action, and you guys were just duking it out there for a while for that second spot. We saw, obviously, quite a few drivers right there in that mix, and just some great racing throughout the field as Drucker for a little bit there throughout those long green flag runs was able to pull away. You guys battled there for second, and then here late in this race, you get a couple late race restarts, man, and especially this green-white checker to finish this off. You get a good jump there on your teammate's back bumper. Was there ever a thought maybe give him a bump and run, trying to steal this win away from him? He's already picked up 2 on this season. I know you want one yourself. Did you think about maybe giving him a little brotherly shove there and getting him up out of the way?
Oh yeah, there was for sure. I mean, I don't know if much of you guys have noticed or realized, but that Jack Drucker guy, he's pretty damn good, and you got to try to take opportunities to pass him when you can. So yeah, that's one thing that kind of sucks though with racing a teammate that's really fast and very competitive as well, is trying to figure out how to race with him. But then in the back of your mind too, it's like, well, don't want to wreck your teammate in this league because they got team points and stuff like that too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. So kind of on that restart there, kind of got out there to a pretty good restart there. And it was really just trying to hold on to second place there because I knew Clinton was going to be really good there on that short run, and trying to just hold off anyone if they had fresh tires coming up there, because it was starting to get to the point to where tires were going to start mattering there. But yeah, it all worked out in the end, and happy to bring it back P2, that's for sure, after starting 9th, having decent track position, and then having to go through all that adversity that I had to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. A great run, great race for yourself here this evening, man. Great rebound here at Richmond Raceway. Brandon, who would you like to thank for great run, great drive out there on the speedway, and parking yourself up here in position number 2?
Yeah, just gotta say thanks to you guys and everyone behind the scenes to give us a place to come race and have some good fun, and all of your people involved over at Peacemaker Gaming for giving us a broadcast as well to go back and look at the races and watch them and stuff, and everyone out there that just enjoys good, clean, hard racing. I mean, I've had a lot of fun, and I hope a lot of other people did too. So that was a lot of fun. Black Betty Racing, Jack, Brennan, definitely putting in some time into this to try to see if we can do something in team points, and then we're kind of just letting the driver points kind of just shake out however they shake out for us. So we're really just here for trying to get team points and stuff like that right now, and go from there. So definitely a good points day for us. Yeah, just gotta say thanks to all you guys, and Black Betty Racing, and Bam Balam.
Beautiful, Brandon. Great run, great drive for you here this evening, brother. Congrats on the second place performance. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Friday night as we head to Watkins Glen for a little road course racing.
Yeah, man, absolutely, and hopefully we can somehow find a way to get back up here to talk to you again.
Beauty, we look forward to it, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yep, you as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Brandon Combs, as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, the number 54 of David Trailer. Hey, David, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Hey, Aaron, I got you.
David, man, good run, good race for you here this evening. Obviously, a bit of an up and down day for yourself. We saw you get tied up in a couple wrecks out there and just trying to rebound and race your way back up here into this battle inside the top 5, top 3. And there in the closing laps, you're able to jump up into that third position and, round out the podium here at Richmond Raceway. Brother, take us, back through what's going to go through your mind here after, 205 laps of racing action.
If I could stop shooting myself in the foot, I could probably finish better than second or third. I just found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time twice, and I caused 2 cautions on my own. Just trying too hard, getting loose when I didn't need to. And yeah, just driving through the field. You can't win races when you're having to pass the field once or twice, but no, overall it's pretty decent. It's hard to complain about third. A lot of guys weren't as fortunate. This was a race of attrition, but at the same time we had some long green flag runs, long enough for some guys to get caught in a pit cycle. So had the benefit there of not pitting and trying to stay out and see what would happen, but No, overall, I feel like third was probably could have been a little better. Definitely maybe had second. I never really wanted to pressure jack that heavy the first stage. It wasn't wouldn't have been smart to race him like that with 150 to go. But I don't know. Another race. Just feel like there's some things I need to do different. Kind of disappointed in myself, but no, overall good points today. I didn't lead any laps, but now we'll see. 56 is showing himself as probably the top guy to beat. So yeah, we'll go back. Road courses next, but yeah, not bad finish tonight.
Yeah, not a bad finish, not a bad day here, points-wise, at the Speedway for yourself, David. And obviously, as you said, you got to clean up those mistakes. You got to figure things out and try to find your way up into victory lane here this season. Now, luckily enough, it's early in the season, so if you're running into issues, you're running into these problems and trying to figure that race truck out a little bit better, trying to clean things up, man. It's early on. You got a lot of racing action left to go, a lot of season left with a lot of races trying to put yourself up into victory lane. So don't hang your head above that one, and you just never know. Maybe that hot shoe falls off and Jack falls back to you guys, or you guys pick up the pace and find that extra gear and jump up there and give him a run for his money each and every single week out there on the Speedway. But man, another great run, another great performance here for the Full Throttle Outlaws and for yourself, David. Who would you like to thank for a great run and great drive out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, first off, thanks to the rest of the admins for putting this league on with me. I'm just the one that hits the buttons and throws the yellow when iRacing doesn't. But huge thank you to Joe, Colton, and Clinton. It's hard to do it, just one guy, so they make it pretty easy on me. Big thank you to the sponsors that help put on the league. Obviously, the main one on the truck, QH Design, Sonic Graphic Design, AdminBoxx, CCR Esports. There's so many, it's hard to remember. Blair over at the Winning Bid Diecast. Dave all got a hand. Johnny Johnson Motorsports in making this happen. So I can't thank them enough. Big thank you to you for putting the broadcast on. I love going back and watching these. This one's going to make me cringe a little bit watching my mistakes, but maybe if I cringe hard enough, I won't do it again, so we'll see. But big thank you to you for putting the broadcast on. And then thanks to the field for showing up. We're starting to get into the meat of the season, and still got anywhere from 20 to 30 guys showing up, depending on provisionals. But no, I can't thank the drivers for showing up enough. They're the ones that make this fun. They make it more enjoyable. They're the reason we're here. So thank you everybody for showing up. And then thanks to my dad watching and my wife for letting me do this.
Beautiful, David. Another great run, another great race, brother. Congrats on the third place performance. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack again next Friday, and seeing if you can maybe park this 54 ride up and in to the Watkins Glen victory lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place performer here this evening, the number 54, David Traylor. David comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Great run, great drive, great performance there out of that 54 machine here this evening, man. Great run, great performance, though, by each and every one of these drivers. A lot of fun, a lot of racing action, a lot of crazy action out there on the racetrack, but nonetheless, another amazing show here with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. Unfortunately, though, that will do it for us here in this one. So a huge shout out to all these amazing drivers, and a huge shout out to all of you amazing fans in the stands tuning in and showing the love and enjoying the incredible racing action here this evening, man. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here tonight. As if you guys haven't already, man, hit the like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up button in the broadcast. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. Become part of the Peacemaker family. Here this evening is my boy Jay Lee. Justin coming in, setting it off with a $25 donation. Says, thanks for everything, brother. Justin, Thank you, man. Thank you, mister, coming in. Showing the love, man. The Red Power Ranger coming in. Showing the love here in this one, man. We love it. We love seeing the Lost Society rides with the Power Ranger machines out there on the speedway. Morphing out there as you guys get lined together, man. It's a lot of fun to see you guys out there putting together a great show and great race. And obviously having the Power Rangers riding with you guys out there on the speedway, as obviously some great runs there for some of the Power Ranger rides. We saw Rooster Ron up there, inside the top 10 here this evening. A pretty good run for him. We saw Zach Kelly battle back there into that 13th position. Our boy Justin Lee coming home there in 17th as well, man. Is Justin, great run, great race, man. Great to see you back out there on the racetrack, and hopefully one of these nights, man, we'll get you. Maybe one of these nights we'll get you up here into the broadcast booth. I think we may have to pull Jay Lee up and into the booth one of these nights. Maybe throughout one of these yellow flags, or if we have a long stage break or a caution flag break there at Watkins Glen, and we got him out there, and we'll have to see if we can get him up here into the booth and into the action. Unfortunately, though, that's going to do it for us here this evening, man. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here in this one. Obviously, some great racing, some great action, some amazing fun here this evening from Richmond Raceway. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here in this one, chat. We can't thank you all enough for tuning in. We can't thank you guys enough for showing the love here. Huge shout out to Don and Sons Garage coming in with the donation early on in the afternoon, and our boy Jay Lee again. Huge shout out to him coming in with the massive $25 super chat. Absolutely insane, super generous of you guys coming in and supporting us here on Peacemaker Gaming and donating your hard-earned money here to help us do what we do up here in the broadcast booth. And we'll see you guys back in here again tomorrow night. We'll be back up in the booth. We'll be putting on another great show here with our Premium Stock Car Racing League tomorrow night. So hopefully we'll see you guys right back in the grandstands at 9 o'clock Eastern time for some more amazing racing on Peacemaker Gaming. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all in the next one again, man. Thank you all for watching. Peace and love, chat. Peace and love. Shout out again to Jay Lee. Shout out again to Don and Sons. You guys are way too generous, man. Shout out to you guys. And we'll see you guys back in here tomorrow night. Peace and love, chat. Peace and love.
The grips a gamble, tires squeal, hearts race. This leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Hit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfect.